Good evening, good evening. Trying to make sure my comments are turned on. We'll see in just a minute. Ooh, this is really close. Let's see if I can back this up a little bit. Good evening, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see who is on today. Ooh, you can see my hair is still wet. Well. Hello, hello. All right, so I am Cherie Lamore. It is Monday evening. I see a friend sent a message says she couldn't find me, but I'm on here. I'm on live. Anyway, trying to get my comments together. Anyway, it's Monday. I'm Cherie Lamore. It is time for Pearls of Wisdom. I missed you all last week. I didn't get a chance to do Pearls of Wisdom last week. I shouldn't say I didn't get a chance. I was tired, y'all. I was so tired. So last week, I was on a special project at work. As you come on in, say hello so I can see if my comments are coming up. Say hello. Let me know you're here. Anyway. So last week I was on a special project at work and I had to work Monday through Friday. Now anybody who knows me well, hey LT, anyone who knows me well knows that I do, hey Kenya Lee, I do not work 5 days a week. I have a 4-day work schedule and I love it. And so last week I had to work 5 days. Now Monday was just the first day of that. But when I tell you I was tired, I just couldn't do Pearls of Wisdom. I couldn't give you all the energy that I like to give you. I had to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning. I worked nights. I worked 4 o'clock in the evening to 3:30 in the morning. So to work morning, I was exhausted last week, you all. So please forgive me that I didn't come on last week, but I'm here this week. And what I'm going to share with you today for this week is some of the things that I learned while working on that special project at work last week. So at my job, they take a lot of the Toyota manufacturing production systems and they utilize that. Hey Demita, they utilize those in our quote unquote lean system just to make sure that we're working lean. And I work in a warehouse environment. So, and last week for the area that I work in, we had to do what is called a 5S. And that 5S in this, it's in the description of this live this week, is to sort, to straighten, to scrub, standardize, and sustain. And so I thought about that and I was like, I need to 5S my life. And as I thought about how I needed to 5S my life, hey Yandel, my newest little poodle. Anyway, as I started thinking about the things that we did at work, I started thinking about I need to apply those same principles to my life. And so I thought about them and thought about, okay, sort, straighten, scrub, standardize, and sustain. How can I apply that in my life? Now, I've said this to you all before and I'll say it again. In order for you to do much of anything in your life, you have to be organized. If you're not organized, your mind can't even function the way it should. You can't be as creative as you like to be. You can't do much of anything if you've got a bunch of clutter around you. So you could apply this to the clutter in your life. And I'm talking about physical, actual clutter. Or you can apply it to relationships. You could apply it to jobs, any type of thing. So first thing we did was sort. We looked at the, hey Michiko, I miss you. Anyway, we look at the things that are around in our area and we determine, we sort them out. What do I actually need? What do I actually use and what don't I? So yes, if you were cleaning out your closet, you could do the exact same thing. Go through and sort out and take out anything that you don't use. So you can do that. But think about that when it comes to relationships. Some of us need to sort out our friendships, our relationships with the opposite sex or same sex, whatever your preference is. We need to sort out some things. and determine what is actually good for us, what is useful, what is beneficial to us, and what is not. And if it is not, we need to put it in a pile to be disposed of later. And it could be, if you're cleaning out your closet, you could donate it, you could toss it in the garbage, whatever it is. So that's the first thing. The next thing, after you sort out and get through with everything, is to straighten. And straighten is more about organizing it and putting everything in its place. And when you think about that with your closet, you can do that. You can put all your short sleeve tops together. You can put all your long sleeve tops together. If you're like me and you worked in retail for 20 plus years, you got everything in what I call Roy G. Biv, and that's the color wheel. You know, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And so if you look at my closet, everything's pretty organized. But if you think about relationships, what do you need to straighten out? And by that I mean putting people in certain categories. You have some people who are your friends. And so those are the people you want closest to you, right? When you straighten things out, the things you want, if you're talking about your closet, the things that you use the most, those are what you want closest to you when you go into your closet. Same thing with your friendships. Those who are your dearest friends, keep them close. You need to put some people in the associate category, and some people need to be in the category of people I know, and anyone else you don't want any more relationships with, hopefully you sorted them out when you went through the sort process. So we need to straighten things out. The next S is scrub. So what we did at work is once we put everything in its place, then we started cleaning everything in those areas. And so we found, you all, the area that I work in has been there for 5 years, and I found stuff that's probably been sitting on there for 5 years. Hey, Marcus. But when you think about your closet or your office or whatever, when you start scrubbing, you're trying to get rid of anything, those layers of stuff that have just been there and piled on for years. Some of us, that scrub could be, what'd you say, Marcus? Storage containers for those leftover people. Exactly. But when you're scrubbing, when you come to your closet, yes, you might want to scrub down some things, your shelving or whatever, but when it comes to your relationships, some of that scrubbing could be some forgiveness that you need to do. You need to scrub off some of those layers of hurt and anger that you have towards certain people. You need to scrub through it and try to figure out how to get yourself free from all the debris that can be weighing you down. If you've ever cleaned an area that hasn't been cleaned in a while, it's not easy. You can't just do a quick wipe down and it be clean and useful to you anymore. If you are in your relationship, if it's something that you've been holding on for years and for years and for years, sometimes that's going to take some layer and some actual scrubbing to get through all those layers of pain and hurt. But you need to do it. And I talk to you all about forgiveness all the time because I don't seem to typically hold grudges against other people, but boy, oh boy, am I tough on myself. Hey, Jeanette, I'm so tough on myself that sometimes in one situation, it took me a whole 7 years to forgive myself. And there were layers and layers of things that I had to go through to actually forgive myself. So I'm telling you, after you sort things out and you straighten them, then you got to scrub. And you got to scrub through to make sure that those relationships are exactly what you want and need them to be. Then you have to standardize. Now, to standardize is mean you set a standard. You set a standard. If it be in your closet, your standard is that this closet is never going to get dirty again. It's never going to be cluttered. When I finish washing my clothes and drying my clothes, I'm going to fold them and put them away. I'm going to hang up stuff and put it away immediately. I'm not going to leave clothes in baskets and leave clothes in the dryer anymore. If it comes to your office, when you're finished writing or typing or whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to put your laptop away, your notebook away. Everything goes back in its place. You're going to create a standard for your life. When it comes to relationships, you can do the same thing. When you create a standard for your relationships. If you are dating someone and you have a standard that the guy that you're with has to be moving forward some kind of way, whether it be in a job as an entrepreneur or whatever, then you set those standards in your life. If you've been in relationships where you were abused before, and you've been either physically, emotionally abused, and you set a standard that you will not allow that to happen anymore, then the first sign of that dude's got to go. He has to go. We're not going to put up with that anymore because you set a standard. Many times, once you set that standard, you start reading the red flags and understand, okay, we're about to hit this point. I'm not going to let it go there, and I'm going to stop that. Same thing can be in your relationships just with friends. Hey, I'm not going to allow people to use me anymore. I'm not going to allow people to constantly use me as First National Bank of whatever. I'm going to set a standard that I'm not lending out money anymore to friends, or I'm not going to do everything that everyone wants me to do anytime that they ask me to do it. And yet when I ask them to do something, the answer is always no. So you set a standard for your life. Then last is you sustain it. Once you set a standard and you are constantly being aware of, this is what I said I'm going to do, I'm going to do that, then you get to the point where you're sustaining it. And you will find that when you finish the 5S project, here's what we found at work. Once we finish this 5S project, and we're in the standardized process, but I've done another one in my job in the past. When you get to the sustaining thing, you realize life is so much easier. Life becomes so much easier because everything's has a place and everything is in its place. And when you have set a standard, you won't allow anyone to mess that up. At work, if we've said these are where the garbage cans go, and that's how specific we got, then anytime I see somebody move a garbage can, hey, you bring that back. That goes right here. Because I did all this hard work to get to this point, and I'm not going to let you or anyone else mess up our good work. And so that happens in your life as well. Once you sort things out, straightened, scrubbed, and standardized, you will sustain it because you will find life is much easier. When you got your friends in different buckets, and here are your friends, your associates, the people you know, and you've already sorted out the riffraff, then you won't expect from your associates the same things that you get from your friends. You'll sustain that because you already know they're not the friend. They're the, hey, let's go out and have a drink whenever, well, I guess some places are back open. But they're the people you may be able to kick it with, but they're not the person that you can share your deepest, darkest secrets with because you know they're going to run their mouth. They're not the people that you're going to share when you're feeling down and out because they want to tease you about it. So that's my message for this week. I want you all to 5S your life. I'm taking those same principles, I promise you I am, that I learned from work this last week, and I'm going to apply them to my life. I'm going to sort. And my closet is pretty organized. My desk is pretty organized. But there's other things in my life, my personal life, that I need to 5S. So I'm going to start sorting out some things, straightening those things, scrubbing and getting down through those layers of hurt and what have you. I'm going to standardize, and I'm going to sustain it. Because once you do, life becomes just that much easier for you, and you can focus on the things that you really need to focus on. So 5S, so good, need this. Thank you, Keisha Darnell. I appreciate that. So that's my quick little message for this week. The specifics of what the 5S's are in the description. Please like, comment, and share this video. I really appreciate it. If you do share it, please know that when multiple people share, I can only see the last person who shared it. So if I don't thank you for sharing it, I'm thanking you ahead of time. But yes, thank you. I appreciate you all. Thank you, cousin, for the compliment. I love you too. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. And once again, I'm Cherie Lamore. This is our Pearls of Wisdom for this week. We're going to 5S our life. All right. Thanks, you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.